Welcome to a special edition of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast, where coffee professional Scott Rao answers your questions. It's yes or no with Scott Rao.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for tuning into the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. We've got another special edition. Yes, indeed, he is back. Guess who's back? Back again. That's right, Scott Rao is back answering your questions. I'm not going to ramble on. You know how I feel about them. You know how passionate I am about this. Let's get in with the first question.
When is it time to push away from pour-over coffee to rockstar quality batch brew at a coffee shop? What makes sense economically and environmentally? We never expected to ask this question in our little shop, but balancing customer satisfaction with coffee quality has me thinking we may need to deal with it soon. We have no rush times on weekdays and have predictable business on the weekends. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. But if we have incredible batch brew coffee and it's $2 cheaper, perhaps that redefines our business approach.
That's a great question. I think shops serving more than about 150 cups of filter per day must batch brew, but please no more than 2 liters per batch. Pour-overs are great if you have a very expensive coffee you feel you can't serve by batch brew because of cost, and it can be great if you're actually going to engage with customers about the coffees you're serving. I say actually because I hear that claim often that baristas are engaging with customers, but in my experience, they rarely know much about the coffees they're serving, and most of the information they provide is dubious. Pour-overs can also be very useful in slow coffee shops or times of day when you may only serve about 4 or 5 cups of filter per hour. To me, the minimum level of sales to use batch brew should be around 10 cups per hour. As for pour-overs, I think cafes should embrace machines like the Seraphim or Trifecta that do a good job of brewing 1 cup at a time consistently and at reasonable temperatures. When I see most baristas wielding kettles, I run the other way. Thanks for the question.
Oh my goodness. Did Scott just knock it out of the park in like a 2-3 minute answer that we've debated about for hours and hours and listened to? There's multiple podcasts out there that talk about it for hours and hours, and he just killed it. He absolutely slayed it in a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
I agree. I think his perspective was definitive. It's like, here is... and by no means, I just want to say this, just because we have Scott answering questions, are we not going to hold back from giving our perspective and opinion? Whoa. Even at times...
Whoa, don't get hostile aggressive on me, bro. Passive aggressive.
I'm not.
Hostile aggressive. I guess that'd be the same thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, passive and hostile.
I totally lost that.
Sure,
totally ruined it. Totally ruined it. Go ahead, keep going.
Well, I'm just saying we'll always, say whatever ignorance comes to our mind, because that's who we are.
That's what we do.
But I really connect with his answer. It makes sense to me. Here's a metric that has worked for me.
10 cups an hour.
There's
no more than 2 liters.
Yeah.
Done.
Makes sense. Because he knows, in his experience, there's a balance between waste, right? There's a waste. If you're not serving this many cups, your batch brew is going to go to waste because you're going to have to dump it because it's no longer fresh if you care about quality. Right. So that aside, you might do well if you stick to pour-overs, filter pour-overs, if you're not serving that many. However, there's better ways to go about it to get a consistent cup.
And he keeps it real with you.
And a barista wielding kettle,
yeah,
like a kettle wielding barista?
Yeah, it's scary. It's a scary sight. And in my brain, I want to disagree.
Yeah.
In my brain, I want to say, Scott, no, wait. That's the way it's supposed to be. Come on, Scott. What are you talking about? And then Scott says, Jake, really? Really? From the cafes that you've been to? And I'm like, you're right. As sad as it is, he's absolutely right. Yeah. It's like he strikes the perfect balance between reality and fantasy, also practicality,
what it could be,
and flavor.
And what it is.
It's like he says, hey, if they're going to actually talk about the coffee, and he says, we pay lip service to that. Or, I mean, I'm obviously paraphrasing a little bit, but he says, we say that we're going to do that, but we don't really do that. Yeah. Your barista stands there with a humpy, grumpy look on their face, pours a little bit of water, wishes they were somewhere else in the world, and then slides it over to you. Mm-hmm. And that's reality. That's reality. I'm still holding on to fantasy land. There's like this silver,
it's real.
This silver thread.
We're gonna find it.
There's the silver thread that comes out of clouds with rainbows and leprechauns and unicorns, And I'm trying to hold on to it and say, no, there's a coffee walking in a coffee winter wonderland. I don't know.
Well, I think there's also something that must be said about previous experiences and what is possible.
Yeah.
Just because it's not common or you haven't experienced it very often, if ever, doesn't mean it's still not possible.
It's going to take more work.
Sometimes the standout companies and restaurants are the ones that kind of are doing what everyone else said was impossible.
Yeah,
that's true. No. You can't scale with that quality.
Yeah, it's scale and the unscalable. I'm not going to give up.
You can't provide that experience and scale. You know what I mean? So that doesn't rule it out completely. But I think it is a great answer. And we know from previous podcast discussions that when baristas are often doing pour-overs, they're thinking about everything else that they got to get to. There's a line. I got to go clean these dishes. I got to, wipe this. I got to move the bake stuff from this case to that case.
The bathroom, I had to go sign off on the check sheet for every hour in the bathroom. I didn't get to that, and I'm supposed to get to that, and the hour's up in 5 minutes.
So your mind can't be connected in the moment and engaging, and that has to do with staffing and profit and loss and revenue and all those other things that make our heads hurt.
So what is the trifecta? He dropped the Seraphim. We've talked about the Seraphim. It's from Wilbur Curtis. Mm-hmm. We've looked at the Seraphim. We've seen it in person. Press Coffee uses it. We've talked about it.
Yep.
What is the trifecta?
That's a cool name, though.
The trifecta is a cool. I like saying it. I'm going to say it again.
Well, it's like the name of a defense, for basketball. We're going to run the trifecta on them right now.
Hey, drop that trifecta right now.
There you go.
What is the trifecta?
They won't know what hit them.
Trifecta. It's by Bunn. It's an automatic single-cup brewing system. Similar to the Seraphim, but the Seraphim normally has 2 shower heads. I guess, I don't know, can you get it in a single? I've only seen it in doubles. But the Bunn is a single-cup brewing system. It's about the same price, about $4,000, give or take. Give or take.
Does that come with the boiler, or you don't know?
Yeah, it's a machine. It's a machine. It is one machine. It kind of looks like a heavy-duty Keurig almost, kind of, but like a skeleton. It looks like the T1000 or actually, what is it? What was it? Not the T1000. When Arnold Schwarzenegger goes back, right, and he comes out of the molten lava or whatever, his flesh is burned off in T2 when he's fighting the T1000. He comes back out kind of as the Terminator. Or no, that's when he was destroyed. Anyhow, when the Terminator's without the skin on him. Yeah. Should I just cut this part out?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
It's like that. It's like the exoskeleton. It's like the exoskeleton.
Yeah, this thing is cool. It does not, you still need the boiler, as far as my understanding goes.
Oh, you still need a boiler?
You still need a boiler to connect it to.
Okay.
So this is just the brew device, but like under the counter, you would have a water line that goes to the boiler.
Okay.
Gotcha. I could be wrong, but that's, so you're still, I don't know, probably a good boiler, another $1,000.
Yeah, I'm not certain. I am not certain. Does it stay on all the time, or can you turn it off at night? The trifecta can easily be turned on or off when necessary because it has a relatively small water boiler. Warm-up time is minimal.
So there is a boiler.
There is a boiler. It seemed like there would be
But it's a small boiler.
But it's a small boiler.
Because I was just looking at specifications because you are on, what you on?
I'm on Prima/Coffee.
It had no mention of how much water it can.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a specification.
Yeah. You'd think you'd like to know that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow. Looking at it, it wouldn't be my first thing anyways. I think I would probably lean towards the Mod Bar. I don't know what the Mod Bar does, but they have kind of
Isn't it more, though?
They have a pour-over. I know it's more, but it looks sweet. Look at that. Their pour-over, the Mod Bar pour-over module brings precision temperature water to the counter. No more pitch. Sorry, I'm getting off track here. I'm sorry. Great question. Who is this question
No,
from?
you're absolutely on track because there is a way to still keep that experience and that element that is exciting when you're doing a single cup pour over while being more consistent.
Yeah.
And there's these devices out there that enable that.
Yeah.
I think that kind of meet you in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
It's not a fancy, $200 handcrafted kettle, but it can still be just as fun, especially if you have it set up close to the customer and they can still see it. And
Scott Rao, practical and profitable.
Hey, that's
it.
That's a good ending. That's it.
Yeah. So this was question was from No Name. There was no name associated with this question. So thank you, No Name, for the question. And
it's because everyone has this question.
And Scott, thank you for the answer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Scott, for taking time out of your busy schedule to answer this question for us. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen And also, if you have questions for Scott, hit us up. Jacob at OrangeCactusCoffee.com, Mike at OrangeCactusCoffee.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you see us at, hit us up. Also, show notes you can find for this episode at OrangeCactusCoffee.com/episode 79. That's OrangeCactusCoffee.com/episode 79. Appreciate you putting this in your ear, and we'll catch you next time.